online panel discussion here at TEC. Today's subject is 3D building printing. 3D building printing is one of the latest and fast-growing applications of 3D printing, but on a very large scale. It actually enables us to physically print apartment houses, so very specific construction modules. It sounds like sci-fi, but actually it's already happening now. We will be specifically talking about this 3D printing technology application in Africa. We'll be zooming in what's happening, how the market is developing, what kind of challenges there are, and in which way 3D building printing will transform the way of construction engineering. To get the latest insights, I connected with Winsun 3D Builders Africa and invited two of their founders. 3D Building Africa is a frontier company in Africa that's introducing and working with 3D building technology in Africa. The founders and my guests of today are Joseph, CEO of Winsun 3D Builders, and Eric, COO of Winsun 3D Builders Africa. Both have a very long track record in engineering and are the pioneers in their field. Thank you for coming.
My name is Joseph Oloyi. I'm the CEO and President of 3D Builders Africa. And our company has been around for quite some years now. We specialize in technology construction. We have always looked for ways to save cost and do construction in a much faster pace. And with the power of 3D, we're able to bring this to bear. Thank you.
My name is Eric Hoefmans, COO, and my background was in prefab and building materials and solutions for that. And obviously when in China the first houses were printed, this was the opportunity. This is what everybody needs. But this is where the construction sector was waiting for. And I'm gladly introducing this technology into Africa, where the people really need it.
Let's go to the first more intensive question. So, in which way, what is the plan to transform Africa?
So, I'll be very glad to take that question, and thank you. That's a very good question. So, as a company, there are 5 key ways that we have planned that we're going to tackle this. The first thing is to go after the housing deficit. In Africa today, as you all can imagine, there is a huge deficit in housing, shortage of homes for people. In Nigeria, where we're starting the company from now, there's about 22 million of housing deficit. This is a calamity, it's a major issue. So we want to do this with the help of 3D. We want to go after this and be able to put people in the homes that they deserve to be in. The second part is that we want to go after the cost. Right now, in the conventional way of construction, cost of housing is extremely high. People with low income, they're not able to afford homes. So it's very hard for people to have homes, and they live their entire life in rental houses. So with the power of 3D and the cost advantage benefit that it has, we believe that we will be able to produce and build houses for low-income earners, and they will be able to get out of rental homes and be able to own their own homes. The third part is that we want to go after quality. When you look at average homes in Africa today, you can recognize immediately you look at it that there's poor workmanship. And it really saddens me when you think about the bigger part of this issue, which is the collapse of houses that we hear in Africa all the time. And hundreds of people are dying each time this happens. So, but with the power of 3D, it's a computer. It eliminates human error. And the computer does what it knows how to do best, which is doing construction to precision. And we believe that with this technology, we'll be able to eliminate human error and be able to build high quality homes. The third part is that we want to go after the speed. In Africa today, it's extremely hard to build any house in record time. Average home construction in Africa takes about 3 to 6 months. And this keeps people endlessly in rental homes. So for those that cannot even rent, they just don't have a place to live. So, but we believe that with the power of 3D, we'll be able to build these houses in record time and be able to make people become their own homeowners as opposed to being renters. And the last but not the least is that the architect and the designs of construction in Africa is very reptilian in shape. And the reason is because they don't have the technology to be able to build non-reptilian homes. So with the power of 3D, we do believe that we will give the architect, the builders, and the designers the ability and the advanced capability to be able to build any type of shape of homes that they want. These are the 5 key areas that we have in our plan to target in Africa.
Okay, so this is your guys' action plan actually, to get it done.
Yes.
Okay, so let me go to another question. So what are the current 3 to 5 challenges you have at the moment in Africa?
Well, the key challenges that we have in Africa right now is that there is no well-defined, well-structured loan structure for people that are buying these homes in Africa. So, of course, we know we have to fight that battle. We have to go through working with the banks to see how we can structure loans, you know, where the banks will come on board with us and work with us so that people can truly have the opportunity to buy these homes and be able to get the loans that they need to buy those homes. The second major challenge in Africa, of course, is infrastructure. So when you think about logistics and infrastructure in general, those things are not matured in Africa today. So for any company that wants to operate, you have to be able to deal with these challenges and you have to be able to overcome them in order for you to be successful. So that in itself is another challenge that we're going to deal with in Africa. And then, of course, the issue of the government is another aspect of this. So we're already doing some collaborative work with the public and the private sector, trying to bring our idea to bear, and we're getting a lot of support already. So these are some of the key things that we think are going to be challenges, but we already made plans on how we're going to address and tackle some of these challenges.
Okay, sounds great. So when we look at 3D building technology, what are the 3 biggest benefits if we look into the African market? What are the 3 biggest benefits there?
Well, I can look into that. 3 biggest benefits, obviously, is that economic growth.
Yeah, and just to kind of support that a little bit, so we're looking at this from the value that we can bring to the people, number 1, the value that we can bring to the economy, number 2, and the value that we can bring to the world in general. So when you look at the people, one thing is that through this technology, we'll be able to create employment, and we will also be able to provide and teach people new advanced skills, advanced capability. So architects that are used to 2D designs today will learn how to do 3D designs. Okay, and then when you look at it from a country perspective, we're really hoping that we will be able to target the economy of Africa and be able to help it to grow. Because when you think about the cost, I mean the amount of money that Africa spends on capital and infrastructure projects in today's world, as of 2018, it was 471 billion US dollars that was spent on construction. And about 125 billion of that was in real estate. So when you think about the power of 3D and the ability to be able to do things in a more cost-effective manner, we do believe that there's going to be cost savings, right, from that, which the continent or the countries have the opportunity to channel towards other priority projects. So that's an advantage to the country. And then the second thing is, even with the amount that they're going to eventually spend on capital projects, they will be able to do more for less, because now that's what 3D does.
Yeah. So,
and when you think about the ecological part of this as a nation, the ability for this technology to be able to reuse some of the waste from construction and reduce pollution, these are all the key values that we do believe that Africa needs. So these are the things that we believe that our company will be able to bring as value to Africa.
So that brings actually a great future, right? When using 3D building technology. You reduce costs, you can bring more. So what do you think what will be the future of 3D building, 3D construction in Africa?
The future, and I think Eric would agree with me, the future is that we want to make sure that pollution is eradicated. I mean, let me be clear about that. Pollution caused by construction will be eradicated with 3D. That's our future. That's our plan for the future of Africa. And another plan that we have for the future of Africa, like I said before, is the ability to be able to take people away from muscle work and put them more in a brain work where they use their intellectual capacity to do work and be able to earn more. So we do believe that these things are key things that the future of Africa needs to see. And then when you think about this housing deficit as we talked about it, it's a major issue right now. So what we see and what I'm passionate about personally is to see a point in the future of Africa where people that work hard get the homes that they deserve to live in as well. This is the value that this 3D is going to bring, and this is what we're trying to push for the future of Africa.
And the great thing about 3D printing is, of course, the speed that we bring to the table. You're printing a house in one day. A basic small one-family house you can print in one day. This means if you bring one printer there, you can print one house in one day. If you need 20 million homes and you have 100 printers there, it's like it's a matter of time to achieve that goal with a much better cost.
Sounds really good. You can really, this speed is unbelievable, right? If you compare that to existing construction.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, for sure. If you have a defense, when there is a difference and you need housing, it's to offer such a solution. It must be very valuable.
Absolutely.
So how is it? How is doing business in Africa? Because it's a new market, doing a new technology. So tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, it's an interesting question, and I'm glad you asked that question. Doing business in Africa can be a little bit daunting and challenging, but there are easy ways to do business in Africa as well. So number one thing is that you have to have resilience. Because Africa, as you know, there's a lot of ups, there's a lot of downs, there's economic changes, there's a whole political changes and so on and so forth. As long as you're resilient and you develop a system, a process that can withstand all of these changes, all of these dynamics in the government, then of course you will be able to build a better business. It's infrastructure. You know, the country or the continent is not matured when you think about basic things that you need to operate a business, like power, like water. So there's no constant supply of this. And when you even think about the concept of supply chain, there's no maturity around these things. So in order to do business in Africa, you have to build, again, a business that can withstand all of these challenges. So you have to have less reliance on the government and the infrastructure that is currently available. So these are some of the things that we think challenges are doing business in Africa.
Okay. So we learned a lot. I learned a lot today, actually. So Eric, thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
Thank you for those insights. Also to not only to me but also to the members here at Tech Shanghai. It was great having you both here. I really appreciate that you both made time to arrive here in Shanghai. I wish you all the best and good luck in creating a great future, not only in Africa but also for the rest of the world, because it's really a new technology, is bringing a lot to the world.
Absolutely.
So to my subscribers, if you have any questions, remarks, or anything else you want to tell me, just leave a comment below and I will contact you ASAP.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.